Chiffon, I can't sleep. She responded in a childlike voice. Yeah, I'm getting out of this house. I'm getting out. Matter of fact, pick my bags. We're leaving this town. This job is not worth it. This job is not worth it. What's up, my peeps? How you guys doing? For those who don't know me, my name is Hope. I just want to ask you guys a question, right? If you guys have to choose between a movie and a series, what would you guys choose? For me, I would honestly choose a series. One is because there's nothing amazing about watching a movie that keeps on leaving you at the cliffhanger. You know what I mean? Like every single moment of you watching this thing just kind of makes me want to watch more. I'm like, I want to watch how it ends, and every single season of it, every single episode just kind of leaves me more hungry and more hungry for it. I'm that type of person. I like me that types of movies. So today I have you guys a series. And I'm pretty sure you guys will love the series. The one that I have is, I'm a police officer in a small town. I stopped trying to make sense of the calls. Ooh, it got me hooked. I'm already hooked. Okay, so let's see what the story is about. Yes, that does sound very cliche, but I don't care. It's true. I've been on the job for about 12 years. I've been patrolling this town for about 3 of those years. I'm not going to say where the town is because I don't want to face any backlash from the higher ups. Oh, is it like, are we tapping into something secret? I just want to know. Okay, let's see what it says. The department has opinions on what gets talked about. Just know that this town is a place where everyone knows everyone. If anything interesting happens, expect everyone to have heard it about 20 minutes or so in a minute. Damn, that must be tough. Like, I'd be like, yo, don't you guys have lives? I'm just saying, like, don't you guys have lives? Why do you guys have to be in my business all the time? Like, don't you guys have lives? But like, I do get it. Like, sometimes you just want to hear a good story, and you just want to be like, okay, what happened? I mean, it's bad, but like, you know what I mean? Okay, so when I first started working in this town, I treated it like every other place I worked at. I was friendly but staying when I needed to be. I wanted to make everyone feel safe and like they could reach out to me if they needed. That would have been fine if this place was normal. As you could have guessed it is not. Things happen here that if they were to happen anywhere else, it would be all over the news and internet. Everything here is kept in house for the most part. Occasionally, we do get help from nearby churches and psychics. But these are the stories from other days when I have a lot more time. For now, I just touch on a few of the weird happening that occurs here. I don't like places where everything's like in the house. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I get there are some things where nobody needs to know your business, and obviously that's true. Nobody needs to know what's currently happening in your house. But there are things where if somebody is going through something horrible in the house, I feel like we as a community, we need to be able to help that person, because it's kind of like, I feel like we're also participating in watching the person go through ruins, if that makes sense. I mean, I get it. Some people you just be like, I don't want to do nothing about that. And then some people be like, you be trying to help them, be like, yo, get the hell out of my house and don't even try to help me or anything like that. You know what I mean? I do understand that, but I feel like we're living in like a good community, honestly. Aside from when I first got transferred here. Oh yeah, coming here was not my decision. It was kind of a volatile situation. It was strongly suggested that I come here because of how I handle critical situations in the past. I was under the impression that if this was a step in the right direction for my career, a way to get in the boss's good grace. That was my first of many wrong assumptions when it comes to this town. Want to hear about my first day? Yes, please. Of course you do. You wouldn't have gotten this far otherwise. I was excited about the change in scenery. It was a fresh start for me, so when I strolled into the area the first night, I had my head high and a smile plastered across my face. The first thing I noticed was how oddly quiet it was. There was no desk officer sitting behind the desk. The surgeon's office was closed. I awkwardly made my way to the locker room to put on my fresh pressed uniform. It was there that I had my first interaction with someone who worked here. For study purposes, we will call him Officer Brand. Actually, no, Steve. Let's call him Steve. I like me a Steve. How are you doing, Steve? Steve, do you like to grab some popcorns? Do you like to grab some crocodiles? I'm just saying. Yeah, I just like, I don't know. I feel like this is funny. Okay. Steve was an older cop. He was what we would like to call a salt vet. He would get bored really easily over nonsense. He had just finished putting on his gun belt as I walked in, trying to make a good impression. I went up to introduce myself. Hey, how's it going? I'm Chris, just transferred here. It's my first shift. Steve looked at me with zero expression on his face. I'm talking not even an eyebrow raise. After what felt like 30 seconds, he finally responded, I'm sorry to hear that. What do you mean you're sorry to hear that? I feel like there's a different type of a way to say, why are you sorry? Is this not supposed to be a good thing? Oh God, I feel like I'll be I'm like, okay, I'll give it a chance. And I'm like, is here anything I should be aware of? Yeah, a lot of things you should familiarize yourself with. I was waiting for the second half of the sentence, hoping he would tell me what to get familiar with exactly. Instead, he just kind of brushed me off and walked out. I'm gonna be honest with you. When somebody says these types of things, pack your bags and leave. This town already, first of all, is oddly quiet. I like me some quiet, but not the type of quiet where it feels like I'm entering a serial movie, like a horror movie. No. I want me a quiet where I can still hear the bird chirping. I can still hear neighbors complaining. I can still hear my breathe, like breathing. I want me that type of complaint. But if I get me a complaint where people be like, I'm sorry for you to be here. What do you mean by that? I feel like we should address what you just said. I figured he was just counting down the days to retirement and chunked up to being an asshole to that. After hitting my locker and putting on my uniform, I headed back to the desk trying to locate my patrol car keys. To my surprise, there was still no one sitting behind the desk. The place that I ever worked on, it was a mandate to always have someone behind the desk. We needed someone to dispatch, receive calls, or handle walk-ins. But here, I was standing alone at the desk. I figured I would try and find the sergeant. I'll just call him the police, honestly. I'll just call him an officer, honestly, because I feel like if I kept trying to say this word, my tongue is gonna rip out of his throat. I approached the office. I noticed something that wasn't there before. There was a note taped to the door. Keys in vessel, car parked out back. Alright, I said to myself. I headed towards the back door, expecting to run into someone, more cops at the very least, but it was like no one else was in the building. When I reached the patrol car, I was let down, to say the least. The car was in horrible shape. Dents on the body, sketches on the window. Guess that's what you get when you work in a small town. I thought. I opened the door, sure as shit as the keys were in the vessel. I put the keys in ignition and the engine coughed to life. I turned to the car radio and pulled out of the road to start my first shift. Man, you dedicated. I wouldn't even do anything, honestly. I'll be like, arriving to a place like, there ain't nobody here. What should I do? What should I do? You know what I mean? Like, if I'm in a place where nobody's there, why should I work? I mean, obviously, they did tell him to. I mean, did they already assign him a shift? I think they did. Maybe it's like in one of the protocols, like, yeah, you need to make sure that you stand there near the tree so you can watch them kids kiss them. That's your job. I feel like that's the only thing that you can do. I feel like this is like a cool job, honestly. A job where you just drive around town just to look at people not doing bad things, knowing that the town itself doesn't do bad things. I feel like that's like a relaxed job. I'm like, oh, I'm getting paid for doing nothing. I like that. Before I continue with details for my first shift, I want you to understand how strange this was all. Normally when you start your shift, there is a roll call. Think of it as attendance in school, basically a way to make sure you are there. There's also a post assignment that's supposed to be given out. I feel like you're one of those kids that likes to raise their hands to teachers to tell them that we don't have a homework today. I feel like you're one of those kids. Just accept the fact that this is not a lot of work and just be glad about it. None of this happened. Not only did none of that happen, but when I say no one was in the building, I mean no one. Not just desk officers or supervisors. I'm talking no other cops besides Salty Steve. Not even cleaning crew. Once I had my keys, I really just wanted to leave that building. Night one was pretty quiet for the first half. Not a single call. I actually thought my radio was off or broken with how quiet it was. Dude, you like work. Just say you like work. Just say you like work. Honestly, just say there's nothing wrong with liking work. I just feel like don't try to turn this into like a horror thing right now. You know what I mean? I actually thought my radio was off or broken with how quiet it was. I even tried cleaning up the radio just to make sure it worked, and it gave an audible beep which let me know it was in fact working. I was about 3 hours into my shift when I heard the radio go off. Unit 1 on the air? I didn't answer because I had no idea what my post destination was. I thought maybe it might be someone else. Unit 1 come up. On the air, radio silence. Chris, I wasn't expecting that. No one had ever dispatched me by my first name. It was always Officer Chris. On my poster, I fumbled the microphone and responded, "Go for Unit 1? Yeah, that's you. Get a job for you. Copy. Go with it. Head over about 2 blocks. You will see a blue house with a punch light on. A man will be waiting outside for you. He'll call 911 stating his wife is in feeling well. EMS is about 5 minutes out and check and supervise once you are on the scene." Roger, show me responded. I arrived at the scene 5 minutes after the dispatcher sent me. There was a man standing outside of the blue hearts flinging down. I put the car in the park and walked out of the house. Evening, officer. Thank you for your timely response. Sure things. What's going on? My wife, she's sick. It started out as a cold, but it has gotten a bit worse. Oh great, let me be her hero and grab her a teacher box. I see. Is there anything else? Is she throwing up? Anything that requires immediate attention? No, just that, officer. Just not feeling well. But I would appreciate you if you could go and check on her. Wait, I'm a police officer. Am I a doctor now? What is happening here? A police officer checks for danger. A doctor checks who hurt you and how they hurt you. Should we operate on it? And then we like, okay, let's take you to the hospital if anything bad happened. And if something bad happened, we decide what we need to do. Do we need to give you medicine? Do we need to have you rest for 2 days? Or do we need you to actually go to surgery? That's what I'm pretty sure what most of doctors do. That's the simplest way I can literally say it. Police people, they're like, who killed that person? Let's go investigate who killed that person. Isn't that the job? Why am I here to check on the person that is sick? Okay. No one else was on the scene. She's right inside. Bedroom is the first door on the right. The lights in the house were on but dim, but I stepped inside. I ran over to dispatcher. Unit 2 dispatcher. I'm on the scene. Gentleman is stating his wife isn't feeling well. I'm gonna step inside and make sure she's okay while I wait for EMS. No one responded from the dispatcher. I took a cautioning step inside and headed for the bedroom. As I approached the door, I felt the husband walking slowly behind me. I stepped to the side. Why don't you lead the way? You know your house better than me. Yeah, that's right. That's very smart. I would do the same thing. Surely. He stepped in front of me, reached for the door handle. Fair warning, she's a bit tired. She hasn't been able to get much sleep with this damn cold. Got it. I responded. As the door opened, I could see the bed was dehavished. The blankets were thrown out, the pillows were on the floor. With that being said, I didn't see the sick woman. All I saw was an empty bed. As I stepped into the room, I was immediately woken up. I sweat. The bedroom was so unbelievably hot. It was like stepping into a sauna. I asked him, where is his wife? Before I could respond, I heard someone behind the door. I'm right here, silly. I jumped out of my skin, not expecting a sickly woman to be on her feet, hiding behind a door. Jesus, what the hell are you doing? She frowned. I can't sleep. She responded in a childlike voice. Yeah, I'm getting out of this house. I'm getting out. Matter of fact, pack my bags. We're leaving this town. This job is not worth it. This job is not worth it. Okay, ma'am. I'm going to need you to sit down on the bed. EMC is coming here to check on you and help you out. Oh, let's play a game. Do you want to play some hide and seek? Yeah, this is weird. This is weird. What the hell was going? This woman was supposedly to be sick, not only standing up but pacing around her room, like while her husband stood idly but smiling. If something like this happened, you just lie and just say, yeah, definitely. I want to go to my the car and I have some random toy in my car because I would definitely have that in my car. Then we can go and play. And you get in that car and you drive off, and then make sure that you drive with that car off, and then you literally get rid of this town. You know what I'm saying? The first night, this is what's happening. That's a warning. Okay, is it? I'll hide first and you have to find me, the woman said. Her eyes were open as wide as I have ever seen. Oh, she's really good at this game. She always picks the best spots. You guys could never find her. What the frick was happening? This had to be some sort of new guy hazer. It had to be either that or these people were out of their heads. Their bunkers were gone. This woman sprang up the room, giggling and screaming, you will never find me. Oh, enough, it's find her before she finds it. She hates when you don't play the game right. I feel like I did not do that video justice. Matter of fact, let's play this one. Yeah, that's what I would do. I would live like that. Oh no, I got the F out of this place. I 100% ran back to my door. When I dispatched to send another unit, just as I had finished my transition, EMC pulled up. Do not go in there. This woman is crazy. EMC just stared at me. You're new here, huh? What? Yes. Well, no. I mean, new here, not new to the job. It doesn't matter. I know fucking crazy when I see it. Nah, they do this. We will give her a track and this won't happen for another week or two. And with that, EMC entered the house. I sat there in shock. Sure enough, a few minutes later, they were back outside heading back into their truck. You'll get used to it. A lot of weird shit happens around here. Just understand that this was a temp accident. Yeah, got it. Thanks. See you, Chris. This was the first night of my time here. And as you could imagine, I definitely have some more stories if you're interested. I'll be happy to share some more. I feel like this is weird. This is weird. I have no. Oh wow, this story. I don't have anything more to say. This was batshit crazy. This was crazy. This was like crazy to the point of craziness that even I don't understand the craziness. This was a level where I'm like, can I quit my job? So this was supposed to be a series, but unfortunately, it's a season that basically is. What can I say? It's a series that where we're just gonna have to wait for this guy to post again. I'm really hooked. I'm really hooked.